Hello everyone and welcome back to day 5 of my Christmas challenge Vlogmas. We're going to keep it going and we're going to build up another little Whoville house. And as you can see in my inventory, I have some purple block and some light blue terracotta. So we're going to see what we can make in another unique house. Well, I started setting up the new little build. I changed the shape a little bit and I started laying down the purple blocks. But when I stood to look back at it, all I could think was 70s bathroom. That's all I could think. Those purple blocks were just not fitting what I wanted it to look like. You know, I think the shape is fine for a small house in that. I think the light blue terracotta works. And I even think breaking in the oak logs, it works as well. But the rest of it, it was just not working. So I think instead we are going to replace the purple block on the bottom with cobble to still keep that same look that I'm looking for, but to prevent it looking like a 70s bathroom. Yeah, I think that's better. There's still some things that I'm not in love with this build about, but I think once we actually fill it up a little bit better, it might look okay in the end. So we're gonna keep going. That's the nice thing about these builds. If you don't like them, you tear them down and you do something else. So I have gotten some more oak wood. Let's see what we can do to fix up this build. So that does add a little bit more texture into the build, a little bit more depth. Let's see if we can fix up the top a little bit. Slightly better. The depth is definitely helping. Well, this could work. I have to admit, I'm having some struggles on knowing how to form this house. Which also reminds me I just did the roof. Technically wrong because it's all purple and I'm not sure that I want it all. But anyways, besides the point. Yeah, this house is different and I'm finding it more difficult to make just with the design aspect. But you know what? We're going to keep going and see what happens. So this build is certainly less vibrant, I would say, than the other ones. But it's not awful. It's different. It's very different. But I think I'm going to leave it as is and see once all like the little details come in, how much more, yeah, it will look hopefully a little bit better. The oak wood I think works, but I think it does kind of tend to dull this one off in comparison with the other ones. But I think it's all right. So we're going to keep it. Okay, let's try something along this lines. It's a little bit different on the inside because we have this sort of tower area that obviously goes nowhere. And it's very tiny. It's just a small room. I think the first thing we need to do here is to light up the porch. And I think to do that, we're just going to put a chain there and another chain over here. Now it looks like two eyes. No, we do not like that. How about let's put some pretty colors in here first. Okay, now there's some color and a little bit of quirkiness. That could work. It might, maybe it's too much, I don't know, but it certainly gives a little bit more of a Whoville vibe. And maybe a little storage barrel like that. There we go, that's looking a little bit more lived in. Let's make this a very cozy location. So if we take a couple of bookshelves like that, it creates that air of privacy back here and splits it off. We can put another lantern right there and we will put the bed right in there, which, surprise, surprise, I actually have a bed this time. So we could put the bed right there. And actually, I think I'm just going to move these bookshelves to the opposite side. Excuse me as I use my pick because that's the only silk touch thing I have. Let's grab a couple of upside down stairs. And then just for the fun of it, let's put a smithing table down. Now, of course, we can't forget our flower pot and our little oak sapling and maybe a little window right here at the end. That could work. Kind of opens it up a little bit. It's tiny, but it's an interior. So I think we have created something that actually works. The final thing we will have to do with this house is create the path down to it. So if we take the path this direction, I think it should be all right. Let's fill that in with some dirt. Actually, let's fill it in with that. Okay, so I think we just have to back this up a little bit here. You want to be able to get up and around. So if we break these two down, we just add that. There we go, that could work. But honestly, I think overall this build is coming along very nicely, and the little details coming together. I know this house we did not put a fireplace on. Part of me wants to, but the other part, I think, because the interior is just so tiny, it's just not going to look very good. So thank you to all of you for tuning in for another Vlogmas Christmas Challenge, Whoville style, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode. Thanks so much for watching.